Right, guys, so this is day two. We're doing a live trading session. Well, last night, basically, we checked out gold and USD CHF. So the gold sold out. This looked like over 200 pips. The guy was only catering for this area here. But 11 o'clock last night when I saw it reached to like 80 pips and stuff, I said, well, I'm going to sleep. So I had experiences in the past where I leave trades and I turn and hit the stop loss during the course of that time period now to the morning. So to safeguard your capital, it's always a good idea to bring a stop loss to your entry. Well, in this case, it hit the stop loss, it hit the entry, which was the stop loss, and then it started to melt, right? It started to melt. This wick happened roughly about 8:15 last night. Um, we had it had 2 days. You could have get in a seller. You could have get in a seller yesterday, last night, and on Monday as well. Monday night around this time, you could have got in a sell too. Sales was available, and this thing real sell out. I even get a chance to look at the gold today. So this actually sold during the course of the day as well. I'm looking at it here, it's sold out. It's sold out completely. It's a major point here. But now is not the time to buy the gold, right? Because the dollar gained some strength. So we wanna it could sell out some more until this area here, but that trade done gone. You know, that's a real big drop there. That was a real good trade too. Right? The USD CHF I was looking at it just now. It looks good still. The reason being that it came to a retesting zone here. This was the setup from last night as well. Yeah, General, it is possible. It is possible, but I ain't going to get in a goal. I get too much manipulation with goal. So I had my chance last night, and it played off. It played off. It played off. You know, for persons who actually didn't take that, bringing our surplus to the entry, this would be a real good trade. You know, this would have been a perfect trade actually to get in that sell. What's our risk to reward there? That thing dropped all the way on the second selling zone. There was two zones here. Once the candles close, look at a perfect example here. So the first zone is this zone here, right? I see this box here. When candles close here, you can see that it continues at this level here and it wick respecting the zone and it continues selling, right? But last night around 11 o'clock in the night, it came back and it dies where it hit the entry and then it started drop, right? Like you can see that here. Once it came down here, it started drop and it stayed in the zone. It stayed in this zone here all the way and it gone straight down into the next zone, right? There are two zones here, right? So it could be a same play where it come back up, you see it start to get wicks here again, and it could continue dropping all the way to this area here. But that trade not gone. It's not a good idea to run down trades. You know, you stick with your plan. You didn't get through, that's okay. I think I lost like 2 cents on that goal there, so that's okay. You know, we try again next time. Because sometimes when I run down a trade, the markets just turn and I end up losing a lot of money. So you don't want that to happen, right? So plenty USD pairs I was looking at last night. And basically, the USD build momentum. And this is real good. This is what I was looking for. And you see that shift stayed at that low level. Right? So the USD is building a lot of momentum. I see the card now at a low. So we could look at Euro card. Let me look at Euro card and see what's going on with Euro card. I'll go to Euro card here. Let's take a look at Euro card. Right. I done spot this at a high already. Let's see if we could get an entry with Euro card here, right? So I could see something was forming here on the harmonic side. right? I could see something was forming here, and this is our real important leg here. So it actually faked out here to this whole area here. So that's good. That means the trade is still valid, right? However, if I'm doing the trade, my stop loss have to be, you see what's going on here? This market, so, hey, it's so unpredictable most of the times. Even though you see a wick on a candle like this here, sometimes, most of the times it does run up. It does run up to the wick of the candle. So I hear a lot of traders talk about the body and the wick, but I see that turn low that time. If you look at this high here, look at that almost going to the peak of this wick here. So I always put a stop loss above the wick, right? Don't even study this this wick here. You work with this wick in the past, right? So our stop loss must be above that area. So you can see we get a nice confirmation here that something is going to happen, just like the gold last night, you know. But again, you know what could happen? It could sell and come back up and sell, right? It's about this area here. The possibility exists. So we want to analyze this a little properly here, and we have to see how money we're risking on this trade here. So let's see how much fake outs we got on this here. I could see we got a fake out here, and we got our next fake out here around this area here. So we got 2 fake outs, right? It's still a valid trail for sell. You have to pay attention to like how it bought at this area here. So we want to see in the past if it had a foundation here. So it had a lot of foundations in the back here, right? It had a lot of foundations in the back here. So that is good. So if you even draw, check this out. If you just draw, put one of these tools here, the horizontal ray, at this area here, you can immediately see an opportunity here, right? And that is the roof, and this is the base. So this is the resistance, and this is the support. So you always try to sell at the highest point, right? And it is at a high point right now. So we wanted to see what's happening here. Body to body, which is a real good trade. But we gotta see how much pips is the stop loss for this trade, if we could get involved with this trade here. Alright, so these are the zones we're working with here. And we want to make sure our take profit doesn't pass this area here, right? So we want to check out from the highest point available, and we want to basically do a short from the highest point, right? Right, this looks good. This looks good. We could actually do a 30 pip stop loss. Okay, how to cater for the spreads with the broker. So you put all the 30 pips is actually good. We could try and do a 1-to-1 here. We could try and do a 1-to-1 here. So this being a Euro card, not related to the US dollar, the movement might take place, you know, in the London session. We might enter the trade now, and we want to basically, the volatility gets start in London. So a good thing to check, guys, is to see if we get caught in a trap. Today is Wednesday. So if there's a red folder in the euro, we have to be careful with that, right? Because remember, this whole system here is real world scenario that moves the charts, right? So we're looking at Forex Factory. Let me see if they're trying to trap us, right? And we seen AUD news tonight, 11 o'clock. So AUD stay away from that. You understand? They trade after the red folder, not before. So look what's going on here. Is that trap? What's going on here? Thursday morning, which is A few hours from now, London session, what's going on here? Euro news. So a lot of traders, I mean, there is trade news but you see with these red folders, they don't play because the red folders is be unpredictable news. You can still take a chance with the yellow folder, but you see when you see red folder, that is the trap, and I feel like it's going to happen there. If we enter this hero card, it's not me alone thinking like this, plenty traders out there, they would say, boy, that hero card look good to go in for a sell, because why? You could immediately look at the chart and you can see it at a resistance point, and them brokers watching that too, and you're 30 pips. They say, hey, they're watching the weekend thing, that 30 pips looking good, that going on be a trap. So we don't want to get caught up in the trap, right? So just for example purposes, you know, we would leave it as is. I wouldn't take this trade, although it looks really good. This trade looked really, really good. But because of the red folder, tomorrow at 3 a.m., right? So we stay away from Europeans, right? That's from 3 to 4:30. Really? What real red folders tomorrow? Hey, tomorrow is not a good trade day. If we had to analyze any trade tomorrow, it had to be about 9:30 a.m. when it almost finished the news and stuff, 10 o'clock. So I'm not going in any and this is something you all should, I mean, Janelle should know this as well. You don't play with red folders. Especially when you see a day with red folders, you wait after. I mean, in gold, I could show you what happened in gold, you know. I could show you an example in that, in the gold there. Right? Yeah, gold real different. Yeah, you're sure right. So let me show you a real world example here, because I got caught up in the gold with the red folder. I could show you. Let me go down to the 30 minutes time frame and let me show you all what happened with this gold here. It was around this area here, right? You see 8 o'clock on the 17th of July, it had a red folder news. And only watching a small candle like this here, that drain in your account, this red candle. If you go and buy here, I just said, let me say, people look at the past and they say, well, boy, I see some stuff here and I want to get in and buy, you know. I want to go in and buy. And plenty of people just like to trade gold with high lot sizes. So, you know, your account going and start a drain. If you have $50 or $100 in your account and you're doing 0.10, 0.15, this simple candle here going and blow your account. You understand? And this is a good example because it had a red folder news around that time. Because a lot of traders would have go in and basically get in the trade, you know. And as soon as the red folder news finish around 10 o'clock, guess what? You could have get in the trade. You know, that doesn't mean to say analysis not working. Watch how the gold actually bought from that level there, from this area here. That is the turn, right? So always trade after the red folder news. You could even wait like a half an hour before it finishes, or after it finishes. Sorry, if it's finished, the news finishes at 10, 9:30 is a good time to get in and try to work some analysis, because most likely your prediction around that time, it will go hopefully in that direction, right? Just remember, always pay stop loss because it could always turn. You know, the markets could always turn. Like what I did, I said, faked us out, and this was a perfect trading day, no red folder, and it actually came back up to the high, hitting people who bring their stop losses to entry, and you know, that's it. It took us out. So this is a good example, guys, and I'm glad I could show you all that there, right? So any euro pairs, we're not trading any euro pairs until 10 a.m. tomorrow or 9:30 a.m., right? Because it's going to have a fake out. It's going to have a lot of fake outs. So you see what's going on here. If you go to GBP, USD, all these are related pairs. So once it's in use in Euro and GBP, it got affect both charts, right? And you can see what they're showing us right now. They're showing us that markets looking to sell. Markets looking to sell here, right? If you go to, let me try and look at some other GBP pairs. GBP NZD, this actually was a good buy this morning at 7 o'clock. This was a nice trade here. But this is a good example as well. Correlated pairs. It could go in your favor if you do correlated pairs, or it could not, and that could blow your account too. And this is something I learned. You take one out of the correlated pairs and trade, like GBP NZD, GBP AUD. Look at it. Look at the chart here. All of them go in the same direction. You have Euro NZD, right? You can see Euro NZD, watch. Same movement. I actually caught this trade this morning. Right, I make about a good 30 pips on this. And Euro AUD. Watch. These 4 pairs, imagine. You're going in these 4 pairs. I mean, yes, it worked in the favor. It went, and you could have went into the 4 pairs and make some good money there. However, if it goes in the opposite direction, you're going to lose a lot of money. And because it's correlated pairs, they move in the same direction, right? So let's choose one with the highest probability and then work with that. What I was looking at was the Euro NZD. That, to me, was one of the highest probability out of the 4 correlated pairs, right? So I took that and it was a successful trade. I think I shared a screenshot at 0.05. I think this is it. Yeah, is it? Yeah, look at it. Euro NZD take profit today. $17 at 0.05. Right? Let's see. So we know we're not trading. So watch out this market is tomorrow now. Wow. I don't think tomorrow you don't trade any pair because it's on the major pair USD. So we would have to wait 10 o'clock tomorrow to see what happens, or 9:30. And that'll be a good time to get in because what's happening here? All these sizing up to sell, Euro USD sizing up. Watch out this. This is going to be a big drop. This may be reaching to the 4 time frame. I'm going to see what's going on here. Yeah, look what's going on here. So the news could push up the market again to the wick. And that might be a good opportunity to sell. So let's look at how much pips that is from. There's about 60 something pips you're talking about. So we don't want to play no superhero there, right? And you can see a real strong uptrend going on here too. Alright, so you can leave it. Some people might buy it and stuff, but yeah, you just leave the Euro pairs. So if you go back to the 30 minutes, and we look at some of the Euro pairs, Euro GBP, JPY, sideways, NZD already happened. And again, the news would affect Euro NZD as well. Euro, it might bring value to it and push it up, or it could push it down. So you don't wanna focus too much on it, right? Euro chef. Let's see what's happening here. I can see sideways movement. What's going on with this Bitcoin? I was checking out what's this analysis here, guys. I was checking out the Bitcoin. Bitcoin and gold is more real faster. But you could be in the winning side with both. It is a nice experience. I actually had a good opportunity to buy the BTC based on my strategy. But I didn't take it, I didn't take it. But you can see what's happening here. The USD news tomorrow will affect both the gold and the Bitcoin. So you would want to wait again 9:30 to see what's happening. AUD PS news tonight. So you see, it could be an extra because obviously people will look to sell the AUD. It's on a high right now. It's on a real high, right? AUD chef. Remember, we have news tonight with the AUD PS. So if you had to take that, you could set an alarm. What time this would finish? This would finish around 2 o'clock. So I'm seeing 11 here, and the next yellow polar is at 2. So around 1:30, if these pairs continue to be at a high, it could be a good indication to sell the AUD pairs, right? This site will help you to, understanding the volatility based on the code. So it's always good to get acquainted with this site here, right? That's to help us to say. It doesn't mean to say it will go in the direction. You use it as an analysis, right? Like apparently I was checking out this AUD chef here. Right, let me see what's going on with this AUD chef here. So all AUD pairs, if you have to be able to do the trade, you gotta get up on the London session 1:30 tomorrow morning and check out all the AUD pairs. If it's still at a high, well, yeah, we could get in the trades to the AUD. Right, we have AUD card on a high, AUD chef on a high, AUD JPY sideways. You don't want to take that, right? AUD NZD at a low, so yeah, we can definitely check that out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mark out some of these high probability setups. AUD card look good, right? AUD chef, I won't take that because, I mean, this is just about 20 pips. We're going to run down that. If the AUD card drops, let's see how much pips we're looking at with the AUD card, right? Because it's at a high. If it was around this area here, well, you don't know that the trade gone. It reached up to a high. We're trying to capitalize on this leg here. This is our leg here. Right, so we want to get a drop here on this. Alright, so how are we going to analyze this quickly here? Let me see if I see a better formation here. I'll go down to see if I see a proper break. So you can see a strong uptrend here. Right, we had one fake out here, we got a wick here. Right, I need to see 3 fake outs. Right, so I can spot one here. You can remember, guys, the markets just go so in waves, right? So that's where you try to do, catch a wave at a high or a low. But many times it is our fake outs. Right, so all these are fake outs here. So a lot of people might sell at these areas here, but I mean, it doesn't have to sell, it could continue going straight up. Right, I spot one. Let me see. All right, so let me see. This could be one here too. All right, this definitely is one here. So you can see, if you look closely here, you can see the momentum dying because it's a strong uptrend from this area here, right? I'm going to show it here. Boom. It started die here. And what time this was? This was 10:30. So this market moving so since 10:30 this morning, right? So it break, it retests on top, making a high. And remember, news 11 o'clock, so we don't want to get into that trade. What could sustain something like this is order types, based on the confirmations, right? So if I started doing my work here now, and I want to basically see if we could get in, that is not valid, right? We could do 2. Right, so yeah, definitely this could be our area of interest. Interest here. Right, so we can look at something like this. Remember, we were looking at the past to see some wicks at the high. So we have a wick up here. Watch out this drop here. That's a real good drop. Right? If you had wait, this market move real nice here. Right, so that a long drop here, and the market started to climb, creating an uptrend here, come back down. Alright, so you got a trend here. Support. Right, so most likely, you have to look at your resistance here in the past. This could be our roof here. So you see my zone here, right? So I don't like to play outside my zone. I want to make sure I take profit within that zone area, right? So let's just let's look at some possibilities here. Alright, so if I do from the highest point currently, maybe I could go higher than this. And there's something too, when the markets go higher, you have to adjust your strategy. You have to work with the highest candle because you can't stick with what it is currently right now because the markets could push with the news. Once you see that wick and that body of the candle, well, you don't know, you have to adjust it, you take profit on your stop losses, right? So let's see how much, and you have to do it from the high. So you see what's going on here, all this math here that I do here is literally, is 15 pips. Target here, the stop loss is about, I would put it about 20 pips. Stop loss. So you could do a 1-to-1 a 1-to-1 risk to ratio with the AUD card. But we're not taking that trade. The only trade we in right now is the trade that I call on the group, and that is the Euro USD. I mean, sorry, the USD CHF. We're on a buy right now. 3 take profit levels, right? And so far, so good. I like what I've seen with the USD. Momentum is way more than the CHF. Right, so I just leaving this here as well. I want to see how this plays off on market. The AUD chef. So these AUD pairs, they're not paying much. The percentage on the pips, the movements, I should say, is small pips we're looking at. Right, AUD NCD. Let's see. Right, so the market actually never, which is long candle now. Wow, that had to be either a breakout or a new candle. That is a long candle. What pips this thing is like? Oh, just 25 pips. So it's still, that's a real big candle. So you can see all the waves, it never passed the candle. So this wasn't a downtrend for a little while. It didn't pass this candle. So there is a hope that it could actually come up. Let's go to the different time frames. Let's see what's happening here. Candle is still showing, so you can see actually it started a downtrend. So yeah, that could be a big turn to drop, right? We're gonna leave that here because it closed that high right now. If it happened to come up anyway to this area here, it could be a good opportunity to sell. But where it is right now, you don't want to really take anything there. It could go any direction, right? So remember the different time frames is like Google Maps. You're going to the higher time frame, you're zooming out, and the lower time frame is when you're zooming in. Alright, so you're looking at popular AUD USD. This is a real good pair to work with, but again, it's the US dollar we're talking about. It's 2 red folders. One with the AUD tonight and the other USD tomorrow, so you stay away from this pair. It looks good, but you don't want to get in this trade idea here. Yeah, we're gonna just leave that at this market. I think I'll wake up about 1:30 to see how these pairs reacted with the news, yes? To see if our opportunity arises, because tomorrow is Thursday. You never know what could happen Thursday, right? Card Chef, let's see. Card Chef sideways, card JPY. Let me show you all something with this card JPY. Right, correlated pairs again. USD JPY, card JPY. You choose one, you don't take the 2 pairs and trade, right? This USD real unpredictable as USD JPY. This thing could show a lot of confirmations to buy right now, and this thing could continue selling. So if you all want to get into one of those, you go with the card JPY. right? But right now the card JPY is sideways, so you leave that. Euro Chef, Euro EUD. Yeah, I think that's about it. USD card. Alright, this was from last night as well. We was looking at the USD card. So it actually moved around 8 o'clock this morning. It had a nice, that's about 40 pips there. That was a good trade, you know. But yeah, how that USD billion momentum, I could push this USD card even higher than what it is right now. So that's good. Even the USD JPY, it will affect this. USD Chef, but as we want we in right now. Right, Euro card. Yeah, we was looking at the Euro card. Look at the Euro card done start to melt already. See what's going on? This thing on start to melt already. So this thing even waiting on no news. It done 11 pips and profits here. So I never know I can plot it. Get it down to 30 pips profit before the news. I didn't want to get in this trade because it could have been a trap, you know, a market trap. You don't want to get any market trap. Alright, so guys, I'm looking at the time, it's 42 minutes past 8, and I want to leave it at that. The only trade we are in right now, it's the USD CHF. I did post the entry and stop losses in the WhatsApp group. You all can check it out. Alright. So as time goes by, I'll do some more calls like this. You know, the person's brand new, you all could always reach out to me directly for the training. And yeah, we would keep in communication in the WhatsApp group. Have a great night, and thanks for coming on, guys.